Very good morning to one and all present here. I, Archana Pal, Assistant Professor, Bansal Institute of Engineering and Technology, Lucknow, warmly welcome you all in day 3 of Faculty Development Program on Entrepreneurship, Incubation and Innovation. Now I would like to introduce our respected speaker, sir, Mr. Vivek Suman, sir. Vivek Suman sir is a distinguished financial and advisory executive with over 20 years of international experience in financial strategy, transaction advisory, mergers and acquisitions, and sustainable finance. Recognized as the best CFO in 2022 and 2023, sir has a proven track record in successful deals closures and team leadership as an ESG certified professional and CFA charter holder, he is dedicated to advancing sustainability initiatives. Sir has spearheaded significant M&A and fundraising deals exceeding $100 million, led cross-border transactions and achieved remarkable growth and achieved in company expertise. He is also a respected author and TEDx keynote speaker on investment banking. Sir's expertise and insights have made him a sought after speaker at global conferences where he shares his knowledge and financial strategy, sustainable finance, and ESG investing. Now, I would like to request our speaker, sir, to continue the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Archana Pal. I really appreciate that. Uh, Thank you, everyone, for joining this morning in uh, uh, in this program of faculty development, which has been conducted by BIT successfully for the last couple of days. Let me share my screen first. Is my slides are visible? Wonderful. So what we are discussing today is quite an interesting topic, and without this, none of the entrepreneurship events can be possible. I would like to thank this opportunity given by the senior professor of the team at Bansal Institute of Engineering and Technology, Lucknow. My task is very simple because this I do for my breadwinning. I raise funds for startups as well as for large company. We work with companies like Britannia. We are helping them off business. So you name it, and a lot of large company we are working with. So this is my bread and butter. So whatever I'm going to talk today is going to be scientifically established, plus it is based on the practices. So this is a step-by-step process for any startup success in the field of fundraising. Now, a little bit of introduction. So there is Ramesh and Suresh. Both of them are eating 5-star chocolate. And Ramesh has a brilliant idea right now in his mind about CRISPR technology for the gene enhancement. Okay. So he says, Ramesh, I got a brilliant idea, which is in this technology and enhancement of biotechnology. Problem is, I don't have money. So Suresh says, first of all, cut back on those 5 stars. And problem, no problem, just relax. Today in BITFD, he is focused on this very topic with 4W, 4 watts.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you. We cannot see the slides. It's minimized, I guess.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
It's not visible to you?
Yes, sir. We cannot.
Can you confirm if it is still working or not?
No, sir. Not yet.
Is my screen visible now?
Sir, only your screen is visible. We cannot see the PPT.
Is the screen visible now?
Yes, sir.
It is visible.
Yes, sir. It's visible.
And my slides?
Yes, sir. It's Ramesh. I got a brilliant idea.
Yes. Is it fully visible, or it's coming as?
So it's coming as a shorter perspective.
Shorter version, okay. Right. Is it on the full screen now?
Yes, sir. Perfectly okay. Full screen, sir.
Full screen. Oh. So Ramesh has this. Okay. Is it full screen now again?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So Ramesh got a brilliant idea in CRISPR technology for gene enhancement. Problem he has no funds. So Suresh says, cut back on those 5 stars. And problem? No problem. Just relax. Today, BIT FDP is focused on this very topic with 4W, 4 what, how, why, and 1H, how, of the entrepreneurship journey, which will cover exactly what you are looking for. So you are in the right place if you want to gain knowledge, not information, knowledge, why to raise funds for a startup from right sources. That's a critical word there. Second, what are the different ways to it? Third, where can I get one which matches my requirement? And fourth, when should I consider for fund providers? When I should consider them, right? And this is a startup which is asking this question. And his is also asking 5-step process to S this system with AI, artificial intelligence in today's world. So let's just start with why. I have limited time and I want more of question answer. So I will try to cover slides in hours time. Okay. So bear with me. Let me start with why. As Simon Sinek said, everything should start with a why. The reason starts with first, 9 out of 10 startups in MSME actually fails within 5 years and 50% within 3 years. So you can understand this is going to be quite difficult. Now this GDP number is 50%. In 2025, startups and MSME, both together, a startup is a part of MSME, which is micro, small, medium enterprises. 50% GDP contribution comes from this side of operation. So we have approximately now 3.97 trillion economy, and approximately 1.65 or $7 trillion of economic comes from consumption side, 65%. And out of that, 50% comes from this particular segment. So you can understand the importance of it. Yeah, just make it 50%. It's not 10%. 10% is the survival rate because 9 out of 10 survives. Any startup survives in 5 years. And you know what is the reason? The reason is this credit gap. Yeah, the reason is this, that the startup do not have enough fund to go any further in their entrepreneurship journey. Yeah, and that is why you need to raise fund at the right point of your business operation or the stages of your startup. I will try to explain you today the startup stages and how this links with which kind of fund. Okay, that relationship I will try to establish. And I'm apologizing, I cannot see any hand raised. So somebody has to unmute themselves and raise a question. So anybody has any question, they can ask, because I'm not able to see the Google sharing the screen. I'm just seeing my slide. Okay. So anybody has question, please unmute yourself and ask me to stop and then ask a question. Let's understand this value of that graph. Okay, this graph is famously known as a value of that graph, and this is basically different stages of any startup. On the right hand side, I am citing my book From Underdog to Unicorn, which is a book I have written on this particular discussion, that how to raise fund. What we are seeing here on the right hand side, that any company starts with having no fund or no money in their business, which is called a cold start. Now, this cold start has a lot of slow traction. And to remove that slow traction and bear the losses, if you see the losses in red shaded area is humongous compared to what you have in your bank, right? You need angel funding or triple F funding, which I will define for you just in a couple of minutes, as a seed fund or pre-seed fund. Nowadays, people are dividing between these two as well, where there is a pre-seed fund is required or seed capital is required. And this is required in this blue line area, okay, where you have been making losses and its start is taking little time because you do not have proof of concept, POC, you do not have MVP, minimum viable product, or anything else. Forget about these two are initial stuff, right? POC and MVP, minimum viable product. And I will define that also if somebody requires it. Then this fund gives you escape velocity. If you see in pink area of the line of the life cycle of a startup, or when you have crossed this valley of debt and you have reached to break even because somebody has given you enough capital to come out of it, and you slowly start progressing towards escape velocity. So you are coming into a little bit of positive of your scenario. You need this positive of your scenario doesn't mean you are came out of loss making, yeah, of your startup. But what I'm talking here is you are called as an early startup where you have a MVP now, minimum viable product. So you have done the market testing of your POC, you have completed your, so let me tell you what are the stages simply. You start with an idea in your mind, like Ramesh has, right? Ramesh has a brilliant idea, Suresh, and he was asking Ramesh. Now, once he has that idea, he need to practice that idea. Is this idea is viable? Okay, so he runs with his own friend, then he runs with few of his colleague, then he talks to some of his professor. Yeah, please ask if you have any question. You have any question? Or you can mute yourself then. So in that case, you have to mute yourself, sir, if you don't mind. So that is the second stage. Second stage, we are talking about, he has already talked to his mentor, professor, friends, and family, and he understood this idea makes sense. So he goes for a research. Yeah, he does his own online research, offline research, whatever kind of research he wants to make, and creates a proof of concept. That's the third level. Fourth level, he goes for developing that product and making a minimum viable product based on the market requirement. Here, people misses that you have to identify a right target market as well. Again, there is a research requirement, which is a market research, where you identify the right target market because you have already done the proof of concept, you have tested with few people, which you identified in your pre-feasibility study. Here, once MVP is ready, minimum viable product is ready, MVP, then you go for escape velocity. You need money now to escape and come out of this loss-making scenario. And thereby, A and B scenario is early stage. Then comes the later stage, which is Series A. Nowadays, this is called fundraising Series A and fundraising Series B. Series B is when you have established in certain region your command and control, and you can make now profit. The moment that comes into your mind, you go for later stage funding. A lot of company like Baiju, etc., even though they have become very large and a double decaton company, not unicorn, decacorn company, okay? $22 billion company it was, but still they were making losses. So loss or profit doesn't decide which stage you are. Clear that it from your mind. But ideally, I have shown on right hand side, once you have escape velocity, you come into a growth stage, yeah, where you have a very high growth possibility, you go for IPO. So mezzanine comes after that, Series C. Mezzanine is a later stage part, and then comes the IPO. Now, all these three together requires a funding from venture capitalists. Venture capitalists are people who have institutional money, like large institutions, BlackRock, JP Morgan, etc., or pension funds. He raise money from there. Like in pension fund, we have NPS, right, in India, or PFRDA, or your PF fund, EPFO. All these organizations gives money to hardcore investment bankers who knows where to deploy your money. Yeah, so these are the venture capitalists, or merger acquisition, or a strategic alliance. So early stage, later stage, and IPO, these three are funded by VCs, M&A activities, or a strategic alliance. Like I told you, we are looking some fund for some large company. We are looking for not fund, we are looking for companies who has 50 crore to 100 crore of revenue, and these guys who have appointed as an investment banker wants to acquire that company. So that is merger and acquisition. Somebody who has a 500 to 600 crore of turnover, even though they are not making profit, I have a mandate, buying mandate, where we can have a strategic alliance. So they can take 50%, 40% of your company, and they can help you to catapult yourself to reach that escape velocity on right-hand side graph and reach to a growth stage. Make sense now? Then comes the secondary offers or public market. Once company gets listed and you have a static, means you have a growth, but not major growth, means you are nearby GDP growth of that country, or you are growing at little higher of that rate or little lower of that rate, but you reach to a growth to maturity stage, which is on the, you see, there is a curve. Yeah, you are in public market. Here, moat or your USP, which we will discuss later, will be differential. If you don't have, then you will have in a decline phase. And then again, you can reach to the losses. Clear? If any question here, I'm happy to answer. Let me take you to the another statistics, which is critical, why people are raising funds and not funding themselves. Yeah, the reason is because of this, India is today has beaten China, which is the most developing nation in research. Who knows better than you guys? All of you are PhD holder and know that in China, the research paper which get produced is 10 times multiple of what we produce in India, right? But in a startup segment, we have beaten them by 150%. Okay, because our growth is monumental on a startup side, and the reason is we are attracting a lot of foreign capital in venture capital or private equity or angel funds to invest in our startup ecosystem. And one of the example is this is Q1 and Q3 of 2020 to 2021, and there it has been a massive change as well. If you compare to 23-24, this is further getting better for India proposition, because the deals, we are beating China by black and blue on the deals happening. Clear? The startup funding in H1 this quarter of 2024 from January to June last month, which has crossed, we have already given money to the tune of $5.4 billion. This is in tracker data I'm sourcing here and Business Today data, which are both on side by side. $5.4 billion already been distributed to growth or later stage, and early stage is also attracting $1.5 billion. Clear? So total of $7 billion is in our Indian economy today, only for a startup segment. Clear? And that is why we should raise funds from these kind of sources, because it helps our economy, it helps our patriotism, as well as it helps a particular segment of entrepreneurs who requires these kind of fund. We will discuss who are these entrepreneurs in the second party. But before part 3, who are these entrepreneurs? What are their challenges? But part 2, we will discuss about what are the different ways, who are the ecosystem player who are giving this money. Clear? So first let's discuss what, then we will go to who. So what are these different kind of funds which are available for a startup or entrepreneurs for their innovation or going to the market or growing in the market to achieve that escape velocity? Let's start with first. In the journey of any startup, people start with their own funds, right? Self-funding, we say. For example, a person working in Google leaves the job and decides to develop a fintech company in genome mapping technology through CRISPR, right? In that case, he has a lot of savings or ESOP of Google as a share. He sells those and put in his own business to set up. Clear? These are mostly personal saving or maybe initial trading he is doing in his own business. Yeah, so he launched one website where he's making some consulting jobs, what he has experience of or what he's planning to offer, but he's running as a consulting. And I know a lot of people have done in their initial year. For a fact, right now we are doing a SME IPO. That guy also does a lot of consulting business, even though he runs his own business in fintech industry. Okay, he's helping his competitor as well. Second company where we are helping, he's an ex-NVIDIA guy. Okay, he left his very cushy job of NVIDIA. He came to India because of love of India, and then he joins Ola. Okay, and then after 2 years working in the top echelon, he was the top 20 people in Ola, whose IPO right now we are talking about. He left that cushy job as well and started his own company. And when he started, he put all his money, whatever NVIDIA share he has, one of the topmost company in chip making today, and their shares everybody knows in $1 trillion, topping the chart, as well as Ola, which is also topping the chart. He left those, sold his shares, and came and started his own funding. Okay, and later on he came to us, where we are helping as a venture capital attachment. Clear? So you see the journey start with self-advancement or crowdfunding. A lot of people now, if you have a social or really some technology which required a lot of fund, lot of kids are relying on crowdfunding. Okay, so these are the two sources which initially pumps you to go to that death valley zone and pass it safely. Third source is debt or loans. However, debt or loans, before you consider that, you need to consider grants, which university gives, like our BIT must be giving through their incubation center, or there are 300 incubators across India in different states run by colleges like BIT or etc. Those incubators also gives you grant as well as loan. So the debt, loan and grant, you should keep it equally. At the same time, before you approach the family and friends, we tend to reach to our family and friend, and there is one F missing here. Anybody knows what is that third F? We say 3 Fs. Yeah, but I suggest people, first you fund yourself. If you can't do it, look for crowdfunding. Yeah, you are a student, you are a graduate, or you are a startup ecosystem, you are fresh, you can reach to your system and ask for crowdfunding. Then go to family and friend. But before go to family and friends, and one more F, and please put in chat box what is that F. I would love to hear that, or somebody can unmute and say. And then, but look for the grant, because government is aggressively pushing for innovative ideas to get funded. Okay, and that is why if you have really good innovative idea, look for the grant, which you can get easily up to now, up to 10 crores in debt and grant together. 10 crore rupees. Can you imagine that? Was it possible in last year? No. This year budget is going to increase CGT SMTE scheme from 5 crore maximum to 10 crores. Clear? So that's the grant which university, government, etc. gives through different schemes. And I will give you all those schemes. Don't worry. Be patient with me. I will give you all tools and technique to take it to the next stage. And definitely you people go for these 3 Fs at the same time, because the process of grant university through university or debt takes little time, and you are in cash crunch, so you rely on friends and family. When you touch friends and family, do look into incubator and accelerator, because they also acts as a friend and family. They might not straight away give you cash. They will go through this grant route or debt route, etc. Or they can give from some small amount, but that will sustain your business, but they will give you all fixed costs reduced. For example, I will give you the second example of the NVIDIA guy who has started radar system. He's doing an innovative idea to democratizing the radar system in car and bikes. Yeah, bike you might not have heard even, but it is coming very soon, which can give you prompts that there is an accident is going to happen due to AI built into that chip. Okay, so a lot of innovative ideas. So that guy also is incubator, because incubator gives fund up to 4 crore. Yeah, there are several incubators. We will discuss about that, like Surge from Secure or Peak IV or Peak 4, you say, whichever way you say. They have changed their name. Or you can go look for Y Combinator of US. They also fund a lot of people in India. So there are several incubators and accelerator. I was talking accelerator like Surge of Secure, or Bloom also has some incubator accelerator, as well as universities. And then when you exhaust these 3 arrangement, or you don't like debt, debt is liking, and your business model as well. And we will discuss that, when you should go for debt, when you should go for equity. We will discuss that as well. But if you, by any chance, you are not looking for loan or debt, then there is a equity provider called angel investors. These are basically HNIs or a startup ecosystem pass out. They have sold their company, they have graduated from different accelerator incubator, and they have enough fund to give you and share with you. These people are there in numerous number now in India, and you should definitely look for them as well. They are the angel investor. And finally comes the venture capital, family offices, and private equity. They give funding mostly from seed fund to the IPO fund. Okay, or some of them can take you for private equity firms can take you for the FPO, follow-on offers as well. Clear? These are the different ways which are available in public domain. But when to use it is what you need to learn, which I am going to discuss in detail. Fair? So seed stage, when you are in that stage, when you have a MVP ready, product market fit, PMF is yet not ready. So MVP is minimum viable product, PMF is product market fit. So you are not in PMF, but you are in MVP. You have already crossed that threshold of POC, and you are about to launch your product. You have already exhausted. So seed stage is that stage where self-finance can come into play. Source comes from self-finance. Triple F, again I'm ignoring that F. You need to tell me which F it is. Family and friends, and okay. Then comes the angel investor, incubator, accelerator, and crowdfunding. These are the 5 major sources which takes you through the seed stage. Now, early stage funding is often sourced from personal networks, yeah, or angel investor who are willing to take very high risk, and that's why they will ask a lot of your shares. Yeah, and that becomes debatable at later stage. So very critical area when you are talking to angel, that you look for some help. Okay, don't go straight your own self, because they will eat you by morning breakfast. Incubator accelerators are much better, and they can provide you this help to negotiate with this angel investor. Okay, that is a possibility. Or investment bankers like us also come in the same play. Both funding and mentorship. That's what we also do. Funding and mentorship. We can give you small funding up to 10 lakh to 50 lakh, and we can give you a mentorship. And also we charge, okay, based on the deal to deal. But incubator and accelerator charge you in form of 1% to 5% of your share. Yeah, but that again is the decision which you need to make. Then comes the early stage investment. If you remember that chart, we are talking about this chart, right? Early stage where the series A and series B come in play. If series B or series A is your area, then venture capital means you are showing some revenue. You have to have some revenue, maybe losses, but you are showing a promising. Let me know if my screen is visible. Okay, clear. So venture capitalist, angel investor, crowdfunding also come here in some time. For large project like AI based project, there is a crowdfunding which gets available, but the ticket size is very high. Then government scheme. Government scheme generally, except the grant which comes through the incubator or accelerator, all of them need for an early stage company where the company has made some revenue. Some. I'm not saying you are a $1 billion company or $1 million company, but you made some revenue, you have an MVP, and even sometime you have a PMF. Early stage is always PMF. So you have a product market fit, you know what is working for you and what is not working for you, and you are logging some revenue, but you might have some losses. At this stage, startups seek larger investors or scaling their operations, so going to America, going to Europe market, or going to different region in India even, yeah, where the cost is required. Venture capitalist, angel investor provide a significant capital as well as linkages. Networking is there another advantage which they do. While government schemes also gives you the similar kind of network. Credibility increases. Once government is behind you, you have a startup certification, CGT, MSc, or Mudra loan has been taken. People have a trust in you that it is supported by government, so due diligence has been done. Okay, but you have to have revenue and some losses, some revenue and some losses, and PMF is done. Then comes the growth stage, yeah, where you have passed the series A, B, you are in series C. Here, venture capitalists, the large or later stage venture capitalists like Secua or Excel, I will show you those names and where they work. These people come into play along with private equity who can get you, funds in different direction, also take you to different scale. Or a strategic investor. So a lot of large company would like to acquire you or work with you if you are in their value chain. Clear? Like Walmart acquired our app Amazon and Flipkart. So Flipkart they acquired, right? So this is how it works. Or Myntra was acquired with Flipkart. These kind of acquisition happens in the growth stage where you are logging some revenue, you are also showing potential of becoming profitable, or you are profitable. Both are here applicable, but you have a sustainable revenue. You cannot go to growth stage with a very small revenue. And I will give you numbers here as well, okay? And standard numbers based on my book from a startup, from underdog to unicorn, how anybody plays that journey along with me, how I have gone through that journey. Of course, I'm not a unicorn, but in my area, I'm a unicorn. That's what I counted. Of course, for unicorn, the requirement is $1 billion of revenue, yeah, minimum or valuation, either of these two. Mostly valuation we talk about. Clear? Then comes the expansion stage where you are looking for IPO, where private equity firms, venture capitalists, and IPO markets gives you that stability. And at this stage, startups are looking for major capital and they want to expand further. Just a minute. They want to expand further and go to different markets. Then comes the mature stage where the public, you are already in public market. Your market has stabilized. You know how future looks like. You are looking for diversification. There you look for private equity players because they have that capability and pocket to help you to diversify or take you in different dimension. Strategic partnership also comes in play. So established companies generally seek for IPO or through private equity to go into this area. Clear? Now, what are the different ways to do it? Different based on the aspect. For example, nature of business. Which one you should select? Generally, this is a doubt any startup ecosystem player has. Whether I should take a equity or I should take a debt. Yeah, or I should go for grant. Now, this depends upon different aspects. Let me consider 5 top most important aspects of any startup. It starts with the nature of the business. So if nature is business, there is no repayment required. You do not want to pay anything on monthly basis because you do not have any income on that basis, or you might not have for foreseeable future. 3 words I have used. You do not have right now. You do not have that kind of business. You are not into SaaS business, service as a subscription as a service business, or similar like that, where recurring revenue is not you are going to generate in foreseeable future, third aspect, then you look for equity financing. Clear? If nature of business is that you can get recurring income even though day one, so you are doing development of a website where subscription is given, okay, then you can look for debt because you have a sequential income to sustain that debt servicing. Okay, so invested fund must be repaid with interest in that tenure. Okay, whatever tenure you are taking a debt or loan from. Grant again is in that situation where you cannot go to equity, you do not have a recurring income to pay this repayment or interest, then you look for grant. And Government of India does provide that. Okay, or there are different charity organization also provides it. Then comes the risk. If you have a higher the risk, you go for higher capital, cost of capital, which is equity. That is little lower because you know it is 9%, 10% or 15% every month you have to pay, right? And you do not have any appetite, then go for grant. Clear? Pressure for repayment, of course, in equity, you don't have pressure to pay it immediately because angel or venture capital come with an outlook of 5 to 10 years. So they are not expecting you to pay in 5 years. Yeah, here the focus will be only growth. When you have a debt refinancing, then definitely there is a pressure, very high pressure, and the grant, there is no pressure at all. Return to investor, potential for capital growth. You want to give them a money for their capital growth. So the interest of equity player is completely different than debt. Debt is an interest payment. And finally, involvement in decision making. Equity financiers will often involve in decision making. So you want a partner, decide that. If you don't have a partner, want a partner or mentor or somebody to guide you or check on you, then go for debt financing. Clear? So this is the nature versus financing type which you should take. Now, where you can find this equity, debt or grants? Of course, this is quite large topic. This can take another 1 hour session, which we might have at some point in time. We'll love to come and speak to you guys because you people are in business of bringing the ecosystem alive. So I will love to come again and discuss in detail, but let me cover in short time which we have. So where you can find, this is a map which I am referring from Inc. 42. They are one of the good resource, by the way, for a startup fraternity. You can find a lot of data there. Now, this is the deal which has happened based on the region. So as you can see, Bangalore is the Bangalore as well as Bengal, Kolkata is a hotbed for financing. Yeah, which stage financing is not described here. Kolkata is mostly for the later stage financing because a lot of businessmen's houses are there, family offices are there, so they fund later stage, and Bangalore in the beginning stage. Again, you have to be careful. There are some pocket of huge development scope areas. Cities like Delhi NCR, Gurugram, Noida, etc. is also hotbed of a startup ecosystem, and a lot of fund comes there. Along with Bangalore, but you see the difference, 5.2 billion in 2022 deal happened in Delhi and 11 billion deal happened in Bangalore. Huge difference, isn't it? Then comes the Mumbai. Mumbai is another hotbed where 4.1 billion has happened. Then comes Jaipur, Ahmedabad. Pune is another source, by the way, 1.4 billion apart from Chennai and Hyderabad. These three are there, and then comes the Ahmedabad, Jaipur, and Indore. So these are the places where you can get funded easily. Yeah, just I have highlighted that. Rest of the places also you can get funded, but the fund come from these area only because the fund providers have their headquarters. So who are these headquarters? This is part 4. Who are these equity and debt providers or grant provider? Basically, there are 3 people. One is the government. So let's discuss about them. So government has different scheme. Okay, they have DDIF, ABAC. More than 10 schemes are there, which I will discuss in next slide. Which are these schemes and for whom it is applicable, and what are the benefit? See, any startup scheme in India which government has launched, looking for these 5 factors which are available. Again, I am using somebody else's slide here. So self-certification, government provides this slide. Tax exemption, so you get another benefit, you do not need to pay taxes. So tomorrow, immediately after 2 years, you become profitable, you should not be worried. Then comes the single window clearances with mobile app. Can somebody guide me how much time we have?
Sir, up to 12.
So we have 2 hours, yeah. So we can go slow. No worries. So another 1 hour we have, 1.5. Fair. So a startup benefit of a startup scheme starts with self-certification, then is tax exemption, then is a single window. So major advantage you have here is it's a single window. So you go to this place, you get everything. Yeah. Government gives you a data center, government gives you incubation center. So table chairs are also provided, as well as funding. Clear? So that is another advantage. With a mobile app, etc., you can access all these. Then comes the patent protection. Government makes sure that your patent is also get protected in that process. Okay, so that is another reason startups look for grants or government schemes. Finally, the last two is most critical according to me. Apart from money, tax, etc., the relaxed rules for public procurement, those services which we seek from the public, especially business which are using those systems, yeah, that becomes very easy for you. You are a part of it. Just a phone call by your mentor, and you will get access to any government data which you need, or procurement which you need. And finally, you will have an incubator setup, yeah, where you do not need to put money in fixed cost. Okay, that's the advantage. There are disadvantages as well, which I'm not discussing. You need to consider disadvantages also when we are looking for the government scheme. Clear? And those are critical too, but I'm not going in detail in absence of lot of time. Then comes, these are the ecosystem which is available on equity side. Okay, a lot of them also gives you in form of debt, but generally this is the equity side ecosystem. What are those? So left hand side is angels, top 10 angels, which I have listed for you. And right hand side, I have listed top 10 late, early or late venture capitalists. But these are the biggest one, and they are in all area. That's why I have left them there. Yeah. So Intel Capital is, of course, is only specific to tech segment, but rest of them are investing in anything which is innovative in its nature. Let's go to the venture angel networks. Nowadays, angel networks are backbone of a startup. They have their disadvantages. Please note and be curious about it. What are their disadvantages? Okay. So angels are two types. One, there are angel networks, and one, there are individuals angels. Yeah. So these individual angels also are part of this network. For example, today Secure or Prashant, who is handling Prashant is handling Secure, which is Peak IV. Now Peak IV or Peak 4 or Excel, these guys are used to be part of Indian Angel Network, IAN. Most prominent network is Indian Angel Network. They have a congregation of more than a lot of numbers, in thousands now. People there are waiting list for high net worth individual to get associated with Indian Angel Network as well. So very prominent one, and they are little more pragmatic as well. Then comes the venture capitalist, venture catalyst. This is again 9 unicorn is their fund which they are running. They have enough money, good money, and they are investing. Then there is a Mumbai Angel Network, again very old Indian Angel Network, and Mumbai, they were competing neck to neck till last 5 years. Okay, means they are there for last 20 years, but they were fighting neck to fund to right investor. Then comes AHA Ventures, FAD, Let's Venture. This is also a good network based out of Bangalore. I know these guys. Chennai Angels are there. Incubation and Innovation Foundation is there. V Founder Circle is there. Or Angel List. These are the top 10 angel provider whom we can approach to get initial funding done. Then comes the Helion. Then comes the Helion. Can I give you a call back, please? Thanks. Then comes the Helion, which are the venture capitalists. Most of them are late stage venture capitalists. Excel, Secure, which is now it is called as Peak IV. These are late stage, but they have incubation system like Surge. Yeah, these people do give you 4 crore rupees in Surge. Suzuki also has similar scheme. One of our founders is trying to get that. We are helping him there to get from Suzuki Fund, which is a Japanese fund, but available in India. They have put some name like My Bharat. That's the fund name, My Bharat, and they are also 4 crore in funding, in initial funding. Excel has also similar arrangement. ICP Venture is there. Venture last year, just give me 1 sec, please. Hello. Sorry. Sorry. Nexus Venture Partners, Bloom Ventures. Bloom is also very active. They have more than 80 people. Karthik is their chairman and CEO. He started coming back from the USA. So Bloom is also very active, mostly in EV or related technology sectors. Venture East is there. ICP Venture is there. So these are the top 20 venture capitalists which we are working with. And as well as Helion is one of the famous. By the way, I have not mentioned is Hem Venture. Yeah, Hem is also in Angel, as well as they have named Hem Angels, as well as they are into venture capitalists. Angel Motilal Oswal is there. So all these people are there. I'm just selecting few. Clear? And if you want a list, you can communicate with me at later stage, and I will be happy to share that. So let's go to the top equity fund providers by activity. This is 2023 data, which I am summarizing. Yeah. Maybe somebody is larger than somebody is smaller. I'm not putting in that sequence, but these are the top 10 equity fund providers with what kind of type they have, where their focus is, and what is their key detail. For example, let's start with Secure Capital, which is peak IV now. Yeah, in India, they have a huge presence. They are one of the pioneer in this field, by the way. Yeah, because they are sitting with the largest foreign direct funds with them. Okay, so they are one of the major player, which is their area where they will invest. So if you have any company in technology, consumer, or healthcare, like your biotechnology, right, they will love to fund. We have worked with a CRISPR-based technology fund. Of course, we could not help them and take to the fundraise round. They failed in that round, unfortunately. They are again going back and looking into their technology. They need to change because technology in this segment change very fast. Yeah, any question, please? I'm happy to answer. I just saw somebody unmuting. Anybody has any question, they can ask anytime, okay? So in healthcare, biotechnology, yeah, please. Let me minimize this. Let me take questions because if I will keep speaking, then I will not know what questions you have. And curiosity is everything, I believe. So let me stop the presentation for 5 minutes and let's have an open session for 5 minutes. Till now, whatever I have covered, any question, and you guys are professor, yeah, you are facing question every day and night. So please go ahead and ask the question. Yeah, so I think Amit Kumar Shukla ji has unmuted himself. Yeah, Amit ji, please go ahead. We have around 140 people, so definitely 10 people should ask question. Please, anyone?
So I have a question.
Go ahead, Namrata ji.
So I have a question that coming from a very like हमारे college students, the college students do not know much about these investments and all. So how can we make them aware? Like you are telling us about the investors and all. How can the students and teachers approach the investors? Like what is the exact procedure or protocol to approach them and get the funding done?
So I don't know your position, but let me say, Dr. Namrata, I love to talk to the doctor, everybody I meet on FDP. So do you have incubation center with you or acceleration center in your college or in your university?
Yes, sir. In college we don't have, but we are associated with AKTU. Then we do have incubation centers.
So then it becomes more easier, because if you have an incubation center and you are associated with it, or your college is associated with it, this incubation center arranges lot of networking sessions along with knowledge distribution center like we are doing in FDP. Okay, I personally have signed up with IMT. You know IMT Ghaziabad, etc. Right? They have a lot of branches. So we are signing a MOU with them, and over a period of time, because for us, a right lead is also important. So this student right now, they are doing research or planning to start his own company, will become tomorrow my client. Yeah. So for it is a beneficial that I meet them before they take shape, so they know me. Second, incubation center or people like you who are planning to approach, there are three approaches. First is this process, incubation process, where you can have a MOU, or you can call people like us or investor, just send them letter for a networking, because nobody will fund blind eye, right? They should know the potential where they are coming from. And every hour for investor is a money for them, right? So they decide whether I should invest with this college, this person, or this particular startup. That decision is very critical, and thereby generally they don't respond. But there are people who do respond and do networking, and as well as we have signed some MOUs. I'm just giving you example, right? We have signed a MOU with some colleges. So why? And the reasons are clear. So that's the approach one. Approach two is pull factor. Pull factor is what? Where you are showcasing your students and let them approach with their ideas, that how to raise fund. But they have to be in that stage in Namrata ji, that where they can ask money. Okay, you have to think through that point of view as well, because most of the time, a student have just an idea. Okay, he doesn't have proof of concept even, and he need a money for that. So I told you, based on that criteria, where they should raise fund has to be also decided. Yeah, and thereby investor will not show any interest if you are just on POC stage. What I have seen personally, for everyone benefit, that if you got IP of that idea, then investor do shows interest on pull side, where you are sending them your idea and they are coming to you saying that this IP is of my interest, or this area of a startup is of my interest. And then there is a push factor. Push factor is you have to call a lot of events, meet these investors, networking event. I have met several IIM professor in my CFA networking events. Okay, so they are part of it, and they come and they talk to us. Different reasons, they will call you for research programs, as judge of their Shark Tanks, and nowadays a lot of people are doing a lot of activity. So this is called push factor, which is also you can apply. So these are the three ways you should approach. But here critical part is where your student is. Is it just in the thinking process? Then you have learned a lot of material in FDP, you teach them, or you call people, come there and answer their queries. Clear? And if they are in a startup phase, then you can use these three way of approaching them. Does this make sense?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Pleasure is mine. Any other question? Okay. Anybody? Any question?
You have raised your hand. If you have any question, you can ask to sir.
Fair. If there is no question, then there are few hands raised, I can see. Dr. Najia, go ahead, doctor.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning, doctor.
Yes, sir. My question is like, if we have some idea, so is it necessary to first get it patented and then work on it?
No, it is not. First of all, ideas are different type, right? There are some non-patentable ideas, still a good startup venture, like Snapdeal, Flipkart. They were just copy paste, right? But still, that idea is viable. So first of all, there are ideas which you can't patent. So there is no necessity to get it patented. But I'm saying, if you have a brilliant idea A student has developed that idea, get it patented to get that pull factor. One of the three factors is pull factor, right? Which we said how to attract investor. So for pull
Right.
factor is one of the ways that nobody eats your idea, first of all. And this is the idea stage, which you can get it patented. You have already gone through a process, so you know how confident you are. So that is one of the, it is definitely not a necessary requirement.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Perfect. Thank you very much, everyone who asked question. Let me go back to presentation again, if there is no question. Once my screen is fully visible, please let me know. Is my screen visible?
So not the slides. The screen is visible. We cannot see the slides.
Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Full screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. So I was just talking about what are the focus area of this top 10 equity funds of last year, based on the last year activity. This is the most updated data because we need this data all the time. Without that, we can't approach. And which segment they are investing currently.
So sorry to interrupt you. The left side of slide we cannot see. It's cutting.
Yeah.
The name before the type, the column which we can see is the name. Half of that column we cannot see.
Okay, let me restart. Tell me if it is fully visible now.
Yes, sir.
Everything is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So we were talking about top 10 equity fund providers with their focus area, okay, where they are focusing on. For example, Secure Capital, which is peak IV now, India, they have venture capital. They start this, they fund from the early stage to later stage based on different program which they run. Their focus is technology, anything in technology, specifically in AI and deep tech, they are very much interested. Consumer, D2C also, they do a lot of funding. Then healthcare, biotechnology also is their area of interest. Early to growth stage and global presence is what they are looking for. So they are looking for any company in this stage as well as global presence. So your product, if it can sold to US market, Europe market or other Asian market, they will love to invest. Then comes the Excel, another top end capital provider. They are in late stage, of course, but they also have some scheme for the mid segment or early segment. They fund to tech, consumer tech, SaaS, any business which has a subscription, definitely they love to fund it, and technology and consumer. So they are into seed to growth stage. So even seed stage. So any student which has reached to MVP, minimum viable product they have achieved, they will have funding from Excel. Their advantage is extensive network and huge private equity players sitting in USA behind them. Okay, so that's their advantage. So your scale becomes piece of cake for them, yeah, to take you to international market. Then comes the Nexus Venture, very prominent one. Nexus Venture partner. They have, of course, technology. They are funding in technology, consumer good, as well as in healthcare and biotechnology. Early stage to global experience. Again, they are looking for international touch. Kalari, madam who runs it, is into my network as well, and one of the most prominent capital provider in Bangalore right now. Yeah, they are based out of Bangalore. Indian company, pure Indian company, but they also have 90% of their LP coming from foreign market. One of the established players, and they were behind a lot of large names as well. Okay, so again, technology, consumer, and fintech, they are very active. Okay, then comes the early stage and local expertise. That's their key. Then comes Bloom. Bloom Venture is a very recent phenomenon. In the last 7-8 years, they have done exponentially well. They have launched 3 funds now. So one of the kind of new on the block, but very aggressively funding. More than 80 companies under their portfolio currently they are running. They fund early startup, seed, you name it. Yeah, high risk capital they give and hands-on support as well. Karthik himself sometimes gets involved. The person who is the chairman, he gets himself involved and makes sure the company passes. Then SAIF, which is a kind of alternative investment fund, partners, they also invest in consumer, healthcare, biotechnology, technology, early to growth stage, and diverse portfolio. They invest in everything. Matrix Partner is another large top 10 equity funds provider. They are also in VC stage. They are tech and consumer side. And of course, they invest in any business, which is even in biotechnology. If you have a subscription model, yeah, so every month health checkup, if that kind of model you have, perfectly you will get the funding. You got my point, yeah? So early to growth stage company and deep market side, they come with a lot of research, yeah, themselves. So that will help you. Then comes IDG Ventures, again tech, consumer, media, early stage and international connection. Now I am adding here Indian Angel Network. This is a particularly angel provider, but trust me, these guys fund everyone. They have a varied area of interest. So you can come from electric vehicle, you can come from biotechnology, you can come from deep tech, any area. You will find somebody with deep pocket rate to give you the money. So up to 5 to 10 crore, don't worry. Okay, that commitment can come. They commit minimum 1 crore and up to 10 crores, they can take it if you have a really potential. Seed funding is their major game. They do not go for Series A or Series B. And they were behind a lot of large companies as well. And they have advantage wide investor network, so that people waiting, etc. Everybody knows if the company has passed through Angel and the network, definitely it has a value and value proposition. Then comes the Motilal Oswal and Edelweiss private equity. These guys are also very active private equity players. A diverse sector, growth expansion stage is their focus area. Their private equity means large money. So you need 100 crore, 500 crores, 500 crore tops, they will come into play. Clear? Why I took their name Motilal Oswal, Edelweiss? Because there is a now new phenomena called Shark Tank. And that is another process lot of students are going ahead with. Okay? So Shark Tank itself has become an institution where a lot of regional Shark Tanks and even college Shark Tanks are coming in play and networking with these angel networks, etc. So you get funding through that network too. Yeah. And you know, everybody must have seen those episodes for last 3-4 years. Then comes the top 10 government added funds. Of course, it is a different topic. Again, somebody can go into detail of above and below both. Yeah. I can take 10 hours on each. My company runs on these things only. So you can understand somebody is making bread and butter because of these people. So I cannot summarize it in 2 hours time or 1 hour time, but I'm just giving you overview. So you know which choice you should make when you are raising the fund. So you become a successful company. Okay. And that is why I'm just listing them. Again, top 10 I have listed. There are more than now 18 live scheme by government. Actually 24, which I know. Yeah, but some of them are might not be applicable to you. There are 24 plus schemes by government of India, by state governments, which is supporting startups. Okay. And I have just listed top 10. The first one is Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, which is very small one. So up to 10 lakh, if you need anything above 50,000, you have a Pakoda or Pakoda Wali going to Big Boss, anyone. Yeah, they can come here rather than going to Big Boss. So they can get loan. This is a loan scheme basically, but subsidized loan, and they have different kind of loans. So Sishu loan, Kishore loan, and Taru loan, but up to 10 lakh, very limited money. Yeah. Then has Aspire scheme. This is a grant, pure grant. There is for innovation and rural industry. So you are attached with some kind of Gram Udyog, rural industries. Definitely you will get this scheme, which is grant. So no money you have to return back. Up to 1 crore you can get. And this is basically got by incubators. and rural innovation. The guy who doesn't have access to even cities or incubators, they can go for this scheme. Yeah. Then comes the multiplier grant scheme. Again, it's a grant, research and development collaboration grant. This is specifically for that purpose. So only for R&D this money comes in play. So somebody is testing their or proof of concept he's preparing, and he want to buy a lot of Chinese product or raw material from our Indian made in India ecosystem. They can approach for this fund. Clear? It doubles the industry R&D investment. That's the focus they have. So they are little aggressive, but getting money from them sometimes get difficult. So they come with a scheme of things. So you are in incubator, you are in STP, software technology park, etc. Then you can get Aspire. You are getting my point, yeah? Directly, if you approach them, might not be, they will give you, or they will take a lot of time. Then comes the support for international patent protection, SIP or EIT we say, okay? They again give grant, and this is for patent purposes. So somebody wants to do patent all across world. It's a very costly arrangement, right? All across world patent is beyond 5 lakhs even sometime if you have a really cool technology. 50% of that government can give you in grant. So this is a wonderful scheme, I believe students should try for. Yeah, and they have 15 lakhs, so that's a good money. Then comes the credit guarantee scheme for a startup, CGSS, and there is a difference between CGSIPME. Okay, that scheme and this scheme, both are similar, but the scope is different. Earlier, the name was CGSS. They were giving 5 crores, collateral free loans. These are, but very difficult to get and go through a government. This is scheme through banks.
Hello, sir.
Okay, sorry.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Little bit louder will help.
Sir,
Because I am unable to.
this slide has been stuck on the previous ones. The government fund providers is not visible.
Oh my God, that's not a good sign. Whenever it happens, please somebody should unmute. Don't look for next student. You are professors, please ask me. Thank you very much, whoever has raised this. If you are not able to see, please ask me, because I know there is some technology issue today. Is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Full screen, right? And we are on top 10 government aided funds, right?
Right, sir. Right.
Perfect. So Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, PMMY. This is the first one, 10 lakh maximum. It's a loan scheme. Aspire scheme is grant for innovation and rural industry. Again, it is up to 1 crore. Multiplier grant scheme is R&D collaboration. 36 crore you can get. Okay, 36 crore. That's the fund the government has created specifically here. Hello. 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 Okay, so support for then comes the SIP EIT grant and patents up to 15 lakh, 50% of your all international patents they will cover. This is ideally for a student. Then the credit guarantee scheme for a startup, which is now changed to CGSTME SME. Yeah, this is for small and medium enterprises too. Up to 10 crore you can get. This is last year data. Up to 5 crore collateral free. There is no collateral required, but there are difficulties here. Yeah, we solve those difficulty because government has also public sector bank has started a startup branches. Okay, through them it becomes much easier. Then there is a startup in India initiative, grant and support, general startup support, which is tax exemption, easier regulation, patent free rebates, etc. You can get through this is Startup India. That is why it is said if you have little bit innovation also in your startup or in your project, please get a Startup India certified. Yeah, it has been given only up to 1 lakh. This is the last year data I'm saying. This year 1 lakh company out of 6.5 crore company. 65 million is MSME. In India, 65 millions are MSME, 6.5 crore. And only 1 lakh, till last year data I'm talking here, August, 1 lakh got Startup India certification. So try for this. This gives you tax exemption for 3 years whenever you will make profit, not now. Whenever you will make, 3 years of tax exemption will be there. Easier regulations will be provided, patent-free rebates are there. Then Startup India Seed Fund Scheme, which is a grant. Easy stage startups can take here. Grants up to 20 lakh is available. Atal Innovation Mission, AIM. But I believe this is for a student below graduation, right? Atal Innovation is for not for graduates. Anybody can tell me? Yeah, Atal Innovation is for undergraduates, right? If you are not a graduate, still you can take this. Anybody has this idea, please let me know in chat box as well. Here the grant is up to 30 crore. And support for incubators and challenges, sorry, 30 lakh. Then comes the 30 lakh, so 25 is what they give. Dairy processing infrastructure, which is in specifically for animal dairy products. We are talking here, so DIDF, this is a loan and grant for dairy sector. The fund is created with 1,167 crore. Where 80% of your money you can buy if you are into dairy segment. Okay, 20% of course you have to pay. Then comes the software technology park. Of course, you guys are aware it's a duty-free import, 100% foreign equity, and tax benefits are provided. Now comes the part 4, when a startup should approach to the fund providers. Yeah, this is a critical idea. Again, simple slide. What is their size? They should approach. I have put in US dollar. Again, I'm citing my book. From underdog to unicorn, we have given complete detail how this works. What are the factors you should additionally see? But this table I'm just citing from there. So angel investor, which are individual in nature, okay, individual in type, they give generally funding between 100,000 to 250,000. That's the average range. So $1,000 we are talking. Okay, so $1 million is 8 crore we are saying, right? So 250 we are saying up to 2 to 4 crores. That's the number generally they give. Nowadays people are giving up to 4 crore as well in angel. Okay, that generally it comes as a part of seed. So investment size, if you are looking up to 10,000 to 250,000 US dollar, you should look for angel. Here the time horizon is long. This minimum of investment will come to 8 to 10 years minimum. Yeah, generally it is beyond 10 years because seed only talks about 7 to 10 years. Okay, so here they look for return in 10 years time, and if you made losses, it's okay with them because they come with that tax. And here they look for IRR, which is in excess of 75%. So whatever money they are putting today and whatever they will get after 10 years, every year they should make 75% of their money. Then only they will come. So not tomorrow they should get 75% return, not day after tomorrow or after 1 year, but over 7 to 8 to 10 years, till the time they are there. If they put say 1 lakh rupee dollar, 1 lakh rupees they put in the business, every year they need 75,000, but not tomorrow, not after a year, maybe after 10 years. So how much? 75 into 10. He is talking about, they are saying 7.5 lakh rupees plus 1 lakh, 8 and 8.5 lakh rupees as a return he should get. Then only he will exit. You are getting a point, yeah? Minimum is that requirement. And what are the multiple? Multiple is 10x. They are looking not only 8.5x, they are looking 10 times minimum of your growth. But minimum is calculation wise, I've just shown you that they are looking for IRR 75%, and again there is a discount. So not 8.5, it will be beyond 10. So 10 times is what they are looking for. Clear? Then comes the seed. Seed, they are institutional investors, they are organized, they have a capability to network, they have a capability to take you to different stages. They have mentoring scheme, they had a team which can help you, etc., etc. They are institutional in nature. But how much they give minimum? Minimum is 250,000 US dollar. So we are saying minimum of 2 to 4 crore. Below that, they will never touch. Okay, 5 crore is generally what they give. And higher side, of course, they can go to 2 million, so up to 20 crore they fund. Time horizon, they are little shorter than angel, but they are similar. If you ask me, they are similar. They do not have a round with below 7 years. Okay, so it goes up to 10 years. Internal rate of return, here they are little moderate, 60%. So we are talking about 6 lakh rupees. 1 lakh they will give you now. They expect 7 lakh rupees at the end. Minimum. Yeah, because it's the IRR, so discounting has happened every 1 lakh. I'm just giving you a number, 6.5 lakh. Okay. Then comes the growth. Again, they also look for 10 times. So they will require minimum of 10 times growth wherever they will invest. Growth stage fund, generally their appetite is 2 million to 50 million. So we are talking about somewhere 16 crores to...
Sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Yes,
I
please.
think the presentation is stuck on previous slide.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for letting me know. My screen is visible now. Can you see my screen now? Anyone?
Yes, sir. The
Startup
startup funds and their appetite.
Correct, absolutely. So I was talking about Angel. I have completed seed and I've also completed growth. Now I'm in growth right now. So I was telling you that minimum of 16 crore or 20 crore and up to 100 crore, 118 crore they can go. Okay, easily. So series A to C means you have to have PMF, product market fit, as well as expansion proposition. Yeah, and you are making in excess of $1 million minimum. Then comes the, of course, they look sub 50% of IRR, means 40% IRR. So they are not looking 10 times, they are looking somewhere 6 to 7 times of their money return. Then comes the maturity C bridge IPO. This is the maturity segment of your cycle. Here, investment size is 50 million to 100 million. Time horizon is less than 5 years. That's what you are looking for. And internal rate of return IRR, these guys will look for 25% to 35%. So anything in IPO, they want a return 5 times and they have outlook of 20 to 35%. That's the average. Late stage buyout means these are LBO, leverage buyout companies, private equity player who wants control in business, or debt financing if you want to do. Ideal time for them is late stage, 100 million plus you should require 2.2 to 5 years, 15% IRR and 2x. Now, apart from this, make an additional note. If you are noting down or you are listening or recording is happening, please note it down. Apart from this, there is a new theme of funding has come, which is called ESG funding or sustainability funds. These are not only available to startups, but also to large companies. Mostly the large company startups like solar power plant, chip plants, technology plants, or you have a vision that you want to become such kind of big biotechnology, CRISPR technology, all that stuff. There is a new kind of funding which is available called ESG compliant funding or sustainability funds. They are also very aggressive. They are also called as impact fund. Like Suzuki Impact Fund, I told you a name, right? These guys does social funding. So even though you might not make any money, they can come and play a big role with you. Okay. Of course, it is for separate discussion. We have a very good expertise here. We help Finnish company, we help Middle Eastern based companies to come here and invest in impact investing. So any social based businesses, they will get money from these guys. Then comes the startup fund and their challenges. So this all a story which I told you, everything look rosy, right? Everything looks, oh, so much of money is available. Government is giving, private equity is giving, venture capital is giving, but it doesn't come so easy. It has its own challenges. And to navigate those challenges, you need incubators, accelerators, investment bankers, chartered accountants, mentor, angel investor. These are the people who will help you to overcome these challenges. But you need to know the challenges, right? So let's just start with challenge number 1. Lack of knowledge about funding option. I hope after watching this video and today 150 people have joined. So after joining today's session, that knowledge, lack of knowledge definitely I have removed. Yeah, which are the options, why you should take, how you should take, where you should take, and when you should take. I will also give you how in detail after this slide. Okay, just wait for it, that what are the steps here to get this money. But lack of knowledge, I am finishing for you and anyone who will watch this video later. Second challenge is collateral requirement for debt funding. So you decided to go for debt. There is a requirement of collateral, minimum of 150% people look for. So if you are looking for 10 crores, you need to have an asset, land, or IP value to the tune of minimum 150 crores. If you are looking for 100 crores, 150 crore worth of four things I just told you, and there are other things as well. You can put gold as well, but I'm just telling you officially there are these four things: brand equity, which is IP. So you can get a brand valuation done if requires, and the banker accepts it. If he doesn't accept, don't waste money. Then comes the collateral in terms of asset, which can be your land, building, your pustani jameen, that means hereditary, anything, heritage, anything which is there as an asset, you can use that, including gold, etc., equity. You can also, your ESOP, you can mortgage and get money here, etc. So collateral is very important, and for the debt financing, and that becomes a challenge if you don't have. And then thereby, go to my previous slide, use those mechanisms which doesn't require collaterals. Third challenge is inadequate expertise about equity. Everybody wants to go for Shark Tank, but they don't know what happens after the Shark Tank. Shark Tank is easy to approach. It's not easy, but not that difficult. Okay, 300 companies they ask to bid for, and then they fund 20 companies out of it. So not that bad scenario compared to IITians getting admission in the college, right? If you see that ratio, it is much better luck here. Point here is, after they gave you the commitment, and two things. One, will that money will come to your pocket is a challenge. Trust me, 30% of even Shark Tank companies, which has been publicly notified that we are funding it, do not get money in their pocket. 30%. Okay, and if you look into their videos, they claim more actually. Yeah, a lot of people even turn up after their presentation if these guys calls them. Second, if they give you the money, there is another challenge. That how to utilize, how much of their control in your operation is coming, all that need to be considered. Okay, so that's the challenge number 3, where people do not have expertise of equity, but they want equity. Okay, because everybody is looking for it, I am also looking for it. Please understand in detail, the risk comes with that equity. You are not a legal guy or a chartered accountant who is trying to raise fund, okay, who can understand each of the word. And these term sheets are definitely challenging. Then comes the distressed business. Distressed businesses has its own challenges. For example, people go looking for fund when they are in stress, right? Nobody goes because they want to fund. Okay, he thinks that he cannot go to his family member either in the beginning itself or any longer. You have already asked them 20 crore. They have given you all their savings. Now nothing is left. Then you need money, and you need money because of different reason again. Your employee requires salary. Your rentals need to be paid. You are in a critical working capital situation. The debtors are higher and creditors are lower, etc. All that brings a distress to business. And when you come to the business, that distress itself becomes an impediment. Please understand and note down this word. The distress itself, or the demand for that fund itself, becomes a detrimental or impediment to your fundraise. Very important point here. Okay, so you have to know where you stand, how much of runway you have left with. Runway means money to run your business, and how much you need for. Okay, and that distress should not become a distressing factor for fundraising. Okay, simple term, but very difficult to understand. And the last challenge is wanting to maintain 100% control of business. Okay, this will be definitely diluted the moment you raise the fund. Even from family, if you have raised, every fortnightly your mother was calling, now your father will start calling. Paise se kya kar rahe ho? What is happening with my money? Okay, even though he knows his son is very capable, but they just want to check. I'm just saying family friends. If you go to loan debt, outside equity, completely different dynamics. Okay, that is why you should consider the left-hand side chart, which is a matrix between different factors and where you are raising fund from. For example, amount available if you are raising from friends and family will be very limited. Trust me, you need 10 rupees, you will always get 3 rupees from this source. You cannot get 10 rupees because they are also judging your capability in their pocket. So this amount availability is a challenging in family and friends. Loan and debt, medium, it will give you what you ask. Okay, again, it is linked to different conditions. If it is collateral free, then your business, IP, etc. If it is a collateral based, then of course, how much asset you have. Then comes the outside equity. Amount available is the only advantage here because anybody who is giving you 10 lakh rupees, 1 crore rupees, 5 crore rupees, he must have 50 crore in his pocket. If he is giving 5 crore, he must have 10 crore, 1 crore if he is giving you 10 lakh. So he has a deep pocket. So you spend that money and again you can go to them, or next round they have to fund it. Okay, that is why they keep that money. Then comes the cost of funding itself. Of course, family and friend and another F, which anybody has put in chat box, by the way. Can anybody tell me the third F? Yeah. These F, cost of funding is low or negligible. They will just ask his money back. They will never ask any cost to it. Yeah. So that is the advantage. Sometimes they have given you just for the purpose of you becoming happy. So that cost of funding is lowest. Outside equity is the highest. Available resources are limited here. Loan and debt is medium, while outside equity is also medium. Available resources, they can connect you with different organization, marketing, right funders, even etc. Issues, family and friend, a small amount from many individuals you have to collect and maybe difficult to manage because how many calls you can attend in a day? One mother call, one sister call, one wife call, and then there will be 1,000 calls from your friends. Okay. Then
Sir,
comes the loan. Sorry, yeah, tell me please.
uh, sir, actually, the slide is stuck at startup funds and their appetite. The slide which we can see is the startup funds.
Now, can you see this 5 challenges and matrix?
No, sir.
Oh.
Can you see now?
Uh, yes, sir. The startup funds and their challenges. Yes, sir. We can
Correct.
see the challenges slide.
Fair. So the left-hand side is challenges, lack of knowledge, collateral requirement, inadequate expertise in equity, distressed businesses, and wanting to maintain 100% control, which is impossible if you are raising fund. Left-hand side slide talks about amount available and cost of funding, along with available resources and issues. And we were talking about issues. What are the issues with friend, family, and another F, loan and debt and outside equity? The major problem is friend and family. There will be a lot of issue, and outside equity influence on decision making will be there. So you will be no longer capable to take any decision haphazardly. You have to take in confidence your partners. Okay, that's the startup funds and challenges. I'm moving to next slide. Please tell me if you are able to see the next slide. Is next slide visible?
No, sir.
Not visible, sir.
Very clear. Thank you, Mukandaji. Okay, let me again. Is it visible now?
Part 5, 5 steps to fundraise. We can see this slide, sir. Yes.
We are seeing part 5, 5 steps to fundraise.
Perfect. So that's the slide I wanted to show you guys. Let me see if I can remove this headache. Clear. So we'll go with this. I hope slide will change. So how to go about raising the fund? We have understood everything now. By now, we know where to raise fund, what are these funds available, where I can find them, and when I should raise them based on the revenue, right? Once I have that 4W, we have come to the last 5 minutes of our session, 5 to 7 minutes, 11:45 or before that, I will stop and we will have a question answer, okay? And I can take each of the process in this how in detail. But let me go to this 5 state of fundraising. Now, five step of fundraising starts with use of AI power. I'm making a big statement now. Anybody who will come from theory background or industry background, they will say, start with the right company structure. But I am making a bold statement here. Everything today, specifically in a student's life, will start with artificial intelligence. And specifically that their generative AI. So start everything with AI. What does this mean? It means that those people who are planning to going for fundraise, they should have 1 hour session on learning how to create prompts or prompt engineering. You have to learn that. If you want to raise fund, you'll need to do 1 hour of this session first. So use of AI is mandatory requirement. Whenever I recruit interns now, we ask them this question. Do you have an interest in generative AI? Do you understand how to write prompt? Do you want to learn this area? Yeah, we will not ask him that, do you understand investment banking? Do you understand corporate finance? Do you understand, gone are the days. Do you understand this first? If yes, then next question comes that, do you understand investment banking? Jokes apart, my point here is, anybody who wants to raise fund, he has to be very conversant about artificial intelligence. Why? Because artificial intelligence has both sides, right? It has a boon and it has a bane. Bane is a major problem because all of the startup founders or student goes to AI and get the assignment done. Who knows better than you guys? Tell me if I'm not telling wrong. Any assignment that they get on the day one, they will go to AI and get it done. Is it right or wrong? It's right, right? I hope everybody is not speaking, but this is correct.
Right.
This is the bane. And that is why we want them to learn this part. Okay? That AI results are not accurate 60% of the time. Means there are people who says 90% of the time, but I'm just saying 60% of the time. By the time you will train your kids on this, see, AI will reach to that level. What it means that you will make some silly mistakes in doing all these 5 steps and you will be out of the race of being a good startup. Success will be a distant dream. And here we are telling you 5-step guide for a successful fundraise in India in this year. So be conversant with AI. Everything will start with AI and learn what is wrong with AI and where I need to use AI. That's the 3 level of understanding. First, you should know AI. You should be conversant with it. You should know what you are making mistake with AI. What is the bane part of it? And the third, where to use it in this process. Okay, process very simple, right? 5 steps. My things get closed. But these 5 steps will go haywire if you are using AI not cleverly. That's why bold statement, you need to know that. 3 steps there. Let's go to the first point for raising right fund, right company structure. Simple right company structure. Remember only one thing. If you want to really launch company and have a proof of concept and want money, you should go and register as a private limited company. Yes, it is a headache. Yes, it is not a right format to have a good profitable business initially. Yes, it is very difficult process to get closer on company like this. So don't do it when you are a student. When you really want to raise money on your company, then you create a company. Any format you can do, sole proprietorship, LLP, or LLC. But the moment you decide to raise fund, only one structure works for private equity or venture capital or angel
Sir,
is
sorry to interrupt you.
okay.
The slide which we can see is the title of part 5 only. How 5 steps to fundraise.
Okay. So now Google is saying, let's stop and let's have a question answer. Google has decided already. See, AI is very strong. He knows now the time has come for question answer, not for slides. Can you see the slide now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So 5 steps which we are talking. I said a very bold statement. Use of AI is critical. In that use of AI, 3 steps. You should be aware about it. You should know how to do prompt engineering. You should know what not to use from AI. And you should also know where and when you should use AI in fundraising process. Because trust me, it is a painful process, and any simple mistake will take you out of the race. And specifically, you do not want to make it because you used AI improperly. Clear? That's the part 1 overall, overarching point of view. But most important point, whenever you decide to go for fundraise, have a right structure. You can start as anything, sole proprietorship without registering company even sometime, get a IP done on your own name, and then go and form a sole proprietorship or take a GST number, yeah, or go for LLP or you go for LLC, whichever structure, whichever country you want to register. Point here is, when you go for fundraise, you have to have only one structure, and that structure is either public limited company, which listed company, which you can't do without raising the fund, or you should have a private limited company. Clear? That's the step number 1. Step number 2, research, which your professor, mentor tells you every time. You have a brilliant idea. You think your friends and family loves that idea, but you don't know your neighbor will despise that idea. Okay, so you need to do a research. This is called a prototype research, okay, which is a pre-feasibility research. But ideally, you should have a market research and proper feasibility study done. I hope somebody must be taking care of these 2 pointers in incubator for sure. Yeah, because a lot of theories are involved, so we do not go and engage in that. But I can add a value of how practically you should do, so you can understand the right market, right product market fit, and your direction for the company. That's how practically it has been done. But theory is very important. I hope somebody is covering that. Let's go to the part number 3. Identifying funds requirement. So you have completed your feasibility study. Now you know ballpark number that if somebody wants to create a Amazon-like company, even though it is a Snapdeal, he should have minimum of 100 crore in his pocket, minimum to start. Forget about having selling a company. But you will see a lot of D2C companies can even start with 5 lakh rupees in pocket. So they have to do, they say shipping, right? Some shipping, ship dropping. A lot of students are doing nowadays. Even though you want to do identify what is your right market, what is your product market fix could be, you cannot realize here, it's a research, right? And where is your target sitting? Then you come and find out that this is the ballpark number. So I need so much of money. I do not know where I will use, but this is money I require in lump sum. And you need to identify who can give me this kind of money based on my profile. Clear? That becomes a very critical process, which I have covered in detail today. In today's meeting, we have discussed this part in detail. Yeah, you need to understand where you fit, how you fit, what is your stage of a company, and who will be the right fit for you. Yeah, so 3rd step is covered, 2nd step somebody else is covering, and 1st step I have covered as well. Let's go to the step number 4, preparing pitch deck and financial model. People think this is the easiest game ever. Lot of online material is available. I have also recorded a video and I will put that in chat box. But what you have to learn is what you should avoid doing in pitch deck. What you should do, there are 1,000 YouTube providers. But what you should avoid, there are only few. I have created a video. In absence of time, I will share in the group when we will have the question answer. Go and watch. It's a 10-minute video. We use it for the practical purposes. Okay, it's a YouTube video. How to create pitch deck and what you should avoid. Yeah, very critical aspect. And those 10 items are critical there, which I have listed in detail. So additional 10 minutes, if you haven't, please involve in watching that video, and this concept also will be clear. Then comes the financial model. Which you won't believe. Out of 100 people I have met last year, it's startup fund, a startup company operators or a student, 95% of those has really crappy financial models. Yeah, the techies do not understand importance of it and do not know what they should do with it. Okay, so financial model is critical. Let me give you 3 guidelines here. I cannot go in detail, but these guidelines will definitely make you to work a little harder on this and prepare stuff which is acceptable. Remember one thing, financial model is not just adding your revenue assumption numbers that in this year I will make 50 crore, next year I will make 150 crore, and after that 500 crore. But it is to establish that 50 crore or 150 crore. What do you mean by that? That where from this number will come. Another layer to that. What do you mean by that? I mean, I am an innovator, right? I need to know what is my raw material cost, which is on the cost side, but what is the unit I will produce for 50 crore. For example, a guy decides to do a chocolate manufacturing. Okay, he has decided he will create Pan Pasand chocolate. Okay, very famous concept, by the way. I'm just using somebody else's concept which is successful. So he decided he will do Pan Pasand chocolate in a larger scale. What he requires, first year he wants to do 50 crore, next year he wants to do 150 crore. Now I need to ask him, or the investor ask him, boss, to get that 50 crore in your pocket, how many units you will sell and at what price, and how many region you have to go and sell, and how much cost will come for that, where from this sell will happen, and how much of that sell cost will be there. That nitty-gritty is important. Not 50 crore, not 150 crore, but that unit dynamics is very important. So revenue unit dynamics, cost unit dynamics linked to that revenue unit dynamic has to be there. Part 1 of financial model. Most of the people make mistake here. Yeah. So this is the outcome which people are expecting. Work on that part. Second part, capex expenditure. You have decided you want 5 crore, 10 crore, 20 crore. But out of that, how much will be required for which purpose? Please make a noting of it. Ideally, get some data from online capex providers. Get those data for your own purposes. Okay, very initial stage, but now there are data sources. For a student also it is available. It's not a rocket science. Just go to that particular places, online, offline, and you will get the numbers. Get that in. That's the second mistake people do. They overlook this capex arrangement. They will say, I need 4 crore. I have total investment of 8 crore, 4 crore, bahar ki party, 4 crore, mera khud ka business start. Wrong thought process. 4 crore from private equity or venture capital, 4 crore from you means 8 crore of total investment, right? Where you are investing and how much, for what purpose you should know. Second indicator. Third indicator, don't think market is full. When you do financial model, generally people will tell you 2 things. Either they want to burn cash for next 10 years, or they will say every year I will make 200% profit because my product is unique. Okay, I will sell it at 100 and I will make minimum of 150 rupees. 100 rupee chocolate, 150 rupees profit. Can it be possible? Similarly, I'm just giving you overline. Similarly, look for IRR here, internal rate of return. Yeah, that is also a critical arrangement to be seen. So all returns should make sense. Loss making or profit making should make sense based on how much money you are asking. These are the major input for financial model. For pitch deck, please watch that video, which I will send in the chat box after I finish the slide. And the last point on the last slide is preparing and completing due diligence before you get any money from angel or venture. Do this process. When generally angel will not do a lot of due diligence apart from checking your background. Okay, checking your background, that's the only thing they do. Angel, but VC definitely will do due diligence. And for both of you, both of these parties, please do your due diligences. What does mean by due diligence? Let's answer that. Due diligence is a process.
The
Sorry?
slide which we can see is fundraising 5 steps.
Yeah, so last point on the last slide. That's what
Yes.
I'm talking. Fifth
Okay.
number. Yeah. Preparing for and completing due diligences. So I'm talking here due diligences are, what is due diligence? So due diligence is a process where an investor establishes that your company exists and whatever you have said in the pitch deck or financial model is a possible. So you are saying here is a potential aspect which you cannot have it in normal due course of business. Potential, right? Pitch deck and financial talks about future, right? But you cannot have it today. You do not have a single money. Your business is not there on ground. So how the person who is investing can establish it? That comes from the due diligence by checking your pedigree, your way of operation, your way of operating this project, and your own profile. Yeah. So due diligence is 3 types. Standard, what I am telling you. One is commercial due diligence, where they check your business model. Okay, where this model can sustain whatever this guy is telling in his pitch deck and financial model. Second due diligence part is financial due diligence. Whatever you are showing number in future, what is your present condition? And is this number in future make sense? So sense check they will do. Okay, that's the second one, financial due diligence, where they will look your audit report, your previous expenditure, how you are spending, do you have a control on it? Do you understand your expenditure? Yeah, so that level of understanding comes from FDD, where we do quality of earning, all that are aspects. Then comes the last one, legal due diligence. This one everybody does. They look into your company, they look into how much of dues are there, what kind of a structure you are carrying, is there any risk on the legal side, can somebody go to the court today if I give you money, etc., etc. These are the 3 critical due diligences. Apart from that, there are several, vendor due diligence, etc., etc. We are not going into that. But this 5 step you follow, there is a guarantee that your startup will raise fund. Okay, and that's how we exist in this world. Thank you very much for patience, hearing, and I have already exceeded my time limit. I don't know how much of time now my team member will give me to ask you question or take question, but we have another 5 minutes, isn't it? Neeraj Mittal has raised his hand already. Do we have time, Dr. Rachana, for question answer? Can I take few questions?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you guys are lucky, you have a time to ask. Please go ahead.
If anybody is having any question, you can ask to the sir.
Ashish ji is there. If he is there, let me know. Thank you. Hope we have covered everything, Ashish ji.
I think we don't have questions.
Fair. If they don't have question, I am most happy. That means that I have delivered what was required and they are contented, or it also means that they are busy. Yeah, everybody has a college, I can understand. But both cases, do watch video. Definitely, it will help you to gain more insights. With that, I end today's session from my side. Now it is up to you, Archana ji and Dr. Ashish.
Now it's time for vote of thanks to the our respected speaker, sir. I'm immensely thankful to Mr. Vivek Suman, sir, for his valuable contribution, your ideas and elegance of explanation of everything. I need to mention my deepest sense of appreciation. Thank you so much, sir, for this valuable and very knowledgeable session to aware all of us regarding the funds and all the steps which you have mentioned. Very, very thank you so much, sir.
No, no, pleasure is all mine. Thank you very much for inviting Ashish ji and Archana ji to this wonderful audiences. I hope I have added some value to their knowledge. You guys, sitting with you guys also gives me immense pleasure that I am sitting with intellectuals who understand and working for a better India tomorrow. Yeah, I'm putting in chat box that video link how to make a good pitch deck. You can share with the team in their groups as well.
Okay, sir.
With that, I also want to take a leave. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Pleasure. Bye bye, everyone.
Quiz and questionnaire link will be shared in group. You all can get the link from that WhatsApp group. Now you all can leave the group. Thank you, everyone.